Hello, my name is Anna, and usually you'll find me trying vintage recipes on this channel. Because I do so much cooking and baking in my videos, I've gotten a lot of questions about the items that I use and some of the items that you see in the background. With holiday gift giving around the corner, I thought it might be helpful to share the ones that I get the most questions about and then just show off a few things that I think are great and I think would make wonderful gifts. So I'll go ahead and link everything in the description down below. Some of those will be affiliate links, and if you choose to purchase something, I do receive a small commission that goes to support my channel, so thank you very much. Kicking things off, cookbooks. Are you surprised? Cookbooks make great gifts, and I think it's really special if there's a cookbook that someone grew up with, someone remembers. I can't tell you how many comments I get that are like, I had that cookbook when I was a child, I remember my mom using that book, I wish I had a copy. Well, I think cookbooks make amazing gifts, of course. And you can purchase a vintage copy if you can find one on eBay or if you like to find one in the wild, but there are a lot of books out there that are reprints. My copy of Betty Crocker's Cookie Book, my absolute favorite, is a reprint from the early 2000s. These often show up around the holidays, especially on Amazon. You know, I've seen them at World Market. Betty Crocker's Cookbook for Boys and Girls. I know a lot of people grew up with this one and would absolutely love to receive a copy. This is a really great example right here. I have two copies of Better Homes and Gardens' new cookbook. One is an original. It's this one. This one is a reprint. My, original copy is from 1953. I believe this one was printed in the early 2000s, but I know it's out there. I know it's available, and it's exactly as this one. All of the same recipes are in there. If you feel like getting an original copy is not your thing, or you're afraid it's gonna be too delicate or fall apart, a reprint is the way to go. And don't forget about your secondhand bookshops. Maybe you have a local used bookstore or half-price books. I love half-price books, and I have seen lots of copies of this particular cookbook there. I've also seen copies of the Betty Crocker picture cookbook there as well. So cookbooks, why not? Next up we have the Ove Glove. You have probably seen me use this in my videos a lot. Believe it or not, I was kind of like resistant to getting one of these for a long time. I don't know if I thought, oh, it's like an as seen on TV product. These were sort of like as seen on TV when I was growing up. So I thought they can't possibly work. They probably don't do what they say they do. And I've gone through so many other like substitutes for this product. Finally, I just kind of bit the bullet and I bought a set of two Ove Gloves and I've never looked back. These are great. They're not very expensive. I think I got a set of two for like under $20. And just having the dexterity to like move your fingers and do things and grab things is wonderful. I use these several times a week, if not daily, like when I'm pulling something out of the oven or I have a hot pot on the stove. If you have someone in your life who's grabbing hot pans a lot and they don't have one of these, get them two. Get them two, one for each hand. Next on my list, geometry kitchen towels. This was something I actually received as a gift a couple of years back from my mother-in-law. She got me one of these geometry kitchen towels and, I was like, oh, how pretty. They come in a lot of designs, so they're very attractive. And I thought, oh, what a pretty dish towel, not really giving it additional thought. And then I got home and I used it and I immediately ordered 3 more because they're so absorbent when you're drying dishes. These just wick away the water so nicely. Maybe you've seen these in the background of my videos because I usually have one hanging on the handle of my oven. They do come in a lot of sizes, so I think this is just like the standard, I'll show you, unfolded kitchen towel that they have, but they also have smaller ones. I think they started making like full-sized towels, like adult-sized towels. I don't know, I haven't tried those. I have only tried these on dishes. They have colors and designs to kind of like suit everyone's taste, I'm convinced. They have seasonal ones and they're very useful. I love a gift that is pretty and useful at the same time. Highly recommend these dish towels. Another tool you've seen in my videos, I use them all the time, OXO liquid measuring cups. I have these two sizes. This is a 4 cup, but my absolute favorites are these tiny ones. These are 2 ounce or 4 tablespoon liquid measuring cups. And the reason I love them, when you're measuring, there's like this slanted part. and you can see where the liquid is going. With a regular liquid measuring cup, which I also have and use, a lot of times you kind of have to like look at it eye level and make sure that you're kind of reaching the spot that you want to reach. But with this like angled measuring kind of thing, you can see where it's going. And I love having these teeny tiny ones to measure out small amounts of things. I often in my videos cut recipes in half or even smaller. So having something like this, a liquid measuring cup that is tiny, is just wonderful. You are gonna see a little bit of a trend in this video because I have a lot of OXO products and I really, really love them. I think they're very well designed, they're very high quality, and usually the price is not that bad. So let's talk about spatulas. Not all spatulas are created equal in my book, and I do have a lot of them. I've actually tried to pare down my spatulas and I just build it right back up, or people buy them for me as gifts. I use all of them, I really do. I am a person who likes to scrape and get to the bottom of every last bit of something in a pan or a measuring cup, so I use these a lot. So I have a few different ones here. These are the GIR brand. I don't know if you can actually see that or not. It's kind of embossed in there, but I love this particular size of them. They come in a lot of colors, as you can see, and they're completely solid. There's no break right here. Just having them be like one solid piece and very sturdy, like this is not bending, to scoop something that might be a little bit heavy or move it around, like that is awesome. And they are heat resistant. Let me see what temperature they are heat resistant to. Got it. So these are actually heat resistant up to 550 degrees. I actually have 4 of these. There's one that I used this morning to make eggs. These are my favorite. They do come in different sizes. This is the 11-inch. This is kind of like my favorite all-purpose size. Any cook would probably fall in love with these if they haven't used them already. So another spatula that I really like, these are the Core spatulas. These have wooden handles. The heads on them are a little bit bigger, so I like folding with these quite a bit. They're very, very strong. Yes, there is a break here, but I find that it holds, like the tops of these are also heat resistant. It's not quite as high. I think this is 475 degrees. I'll try to find one of these and link it in the description down below. I've never been able to find this one again, mostly because I did not purchase these on Amazon. These often show up at like TJ Maxx and Marshalls. I think I even got this one at Mark's. Like if you're local, you know what Mark's is. I've talked about it before. You know, if you want some quality spatulas that are gonna hold up for a long time, these are both pretty decent choices. And then I also love tiny spatulas because you can really like get into places and like scrape out small spaces and cans and things. And these are 2 different shapes. This one has kind of a point, which is nice for like getting into corners. And then this one is almost, it's kind of oblong and flat on one side, so that's kind of good for scooping as well. I cannot remember the brand on these for sure, but I think they might also be Core. I picked these up at, I think, Marshalls, and I think I paid $3.99 for this set years ago. These also make really good stocking stuffers because they are small, but they are very high quality. Yes, they do come apart like that. You know, if I find when I wash these that there's anything in this little space, I have like a tiny straw brush that I kind of scrub them out with and then I let them dry. Even though they come apart, they do hold up quite well. Maybe they're boring to some, but I do love a good spatula. I'm always delighted when I get them for Christmas or my birthday or whatever. So this little guy caused quite a stir when I first used it on my channel. This is the Joie, I think it's Joie, so I'm gonna say Joie mini juicer. And this was a gift from my mom last year. This is great if you have something small and you just need a small amount of juice. Again, I'll link this, but I think my mom found this for me at Marshalls. I will not be offended if you don't use my links to purchase things. They're just there for, you know, your information if you want to buy things from Amazon. But if you want to look at Marshalls, look at TJ Maxx, you know, even Ross sometimes has stuff like this if you have a Ross nearby. So this kind of like comes completely apart. This top part also comes off so you can clean it. This bottom part measures up to 6 teaspoons or 2 tablespoons. I think it's adorable also, and it just makes a really nice little gift. I was thrilled to receive it, and I do use it quite a bit. Whenever I link it in one of my video descriptions, several of you purchase it. So speaking of items that people always purchase whenever I link them in my descriptions, it's my twist whisk. I've used this a lot, and I have had this like particular twist whisk for a very long time. Again, I think it was like a TJ Maxx find. They still sell it and people are still buying it. It is by the brand Joseph. I'm doing this, but I don't know if like the brands are even showing up. It's very hard for me to tell. I know that they come in different colors now. It can store flat like this, or you can use it as like a flat whisk if that's what you're looking for. But when you twist this little knob up here, it turns into a balloon whisk. The wires here are coated. If you have like a non-stick surface that you're using, it doesn't scratch up the pan. Storage wise, this goes into my drawer much better than a big balloon whisk. I think this would also be great if you have like an apartment kitchen, or maybe you travel in an RV or camper or something like that. Like, this would be great because it just doesn't take up a lot of space and it's incredibly useful. I use it all the time. This is one that people don't ask about, but I think that they make great little gifts. They make great hostess gifts or stocking stuffers. That is seasoning blends. And specifically, I love Trader Joe's seasoning blends. They always have a huge selection of them. If I'm remembering correctly, it all kind of started with the everything but the bagel seasoning. They have since expanded their offerings, ranging from sweet to spicy to savory, like whatever. I think whatever tastes you have, there's probably a Trader Joe's seasoning blend out there for you. A few that I grabbed, I have everything but the leftovers. This is like a Thanksgiving or holiday kind of like savory seasoning. This is one that they've had for years and years. 21 Seasoning Salute. This is great on chicken. It is great on fish. It kind of reminds me a little bit of like a salt-free seasoning. By far though, and if you know me personally, I've maybe bought you a bottle of this or just like saying its praises. I love Trader Joe's Green Goddess seasoning. It is so good. I love this on baked potatoes. I love it on eggs. I love it on vegetables. Like, it is just delicious. It's almost like a sour cream and chives with a little splash of lemon. That's how I would describe the flavor of this, but it is totally my favorite. I always have a backup bottle of this. When we go and stay in an Airbnb, I will often bring this with me because it is just such a good like all-purpose kind of seasoning as well, and I love it on so many things. I tried to include a really wide array of price ranges in this list. These start at like $1.99 and I think they max out at about $3.99. So again, great if you're going to like a holiday gathering and you want to have a little hostess gift, or you need, you know, ideas for stocking stuffers for the cook in your life. You could buy one of these or like put a little medley together. So an item that appears in the background of my videos that I get a ton of questions about is my OXO cold brew maker. I've actually had people, like several of you, email me about this particular product. You recognized it in the background and you just wanted my opinion on how it works, is it good, etc. It is great. I'm gonna insert pictures and footage because I wasn't thinking, it's full of coffee right now. I would bring it here like and physically show you, but it's just got like coffee grounds and stuff. I used it because I use it probably 4 times a week. I have had this cold brew maker for over 2 years and it has paid for itself many times over. I think usually the average price is about, I don't know, $55. Maybe some of you think that's like a little bit pricey for what it is, but honestly, it's gotten to the point where a lot of times my husband and I like the coffee we make at home better than the coffee, you know, that maybe we can buy elsewhere. It helps when you use really great coffee beans as well. You know, I've used the method where you make cold brew in a jar before, and that's fine, but usually I would make it in like a jar or a French press, and I would strain it once, and then I would have to strain it a second time into a pitcher, and that worked fine, but you know, it took longer, it was a little bit messier. This actually kind of like strains it twice for you because it has a wire mesh filter, and then you put a paper filter on top of that. It gets rid of all of the grounds and sediment. It makes cold brew concentrate if you follow the instructions that come with the cold brew maker. So you do kind of want to dilute it to your taste. You can use water, you can use milk, whatever you want. It is something that you have to kind of like do the day before, but it is something that I use all the time and it has been very durable. The only piece of this product that you have to be very careful with is the glass carafe. I do wish that they would make it a little bit stronger. I think the glass on it is a little bit thin. You definitely like, and it says like, don't put this in the dishwasher. I hand wash that carafe. I don't even use it to measure the water to pour into the cold brew maker. I use my OXO angled measuring cup just because it is delicate and a little bit, and it's thinner. I did break one of them. It took me like 1.5 years to break it. If you're careful, it should last you. Little story about OXO and their customer service. I emailed them because I was having trouble finding a replacement for the carafe. You can probably find something else that would work, but it really does fit in there perfectly. And so I kind of wanted the same thing. So I emailed them and I said, hey, like I'm having trouble finding this product. I would like to purchase a replacement. Like, can you help me? They sent sent me a replacement carafe for free. So I wouldn't test that on every single OXO product that you have frequently. You know, they might they might start to suspect like something's going on here. OXO customer service really came through for me. And I think as long as you're careful with the carafe, you are gonna love this cold brew maker if you are a coffee person. Just disclaimer, like I'm not a coffee professional. I'm not a coffee expert. Don't claim to be. This is just the way that I personally like to have coffee and make coffee. And since we're talking about coffee, like let's talk about coffee beans. I'll talk about a couple of my favorites. Tip top favorite coffee bean is from Grounds and Hounds, and it is the Perfect with Pie roast. We buy coffee beans and grind them ourselves. It's a personal choice. I'm not gonna say like one way is better than the other, okay? But this particular roast is just like perfectly balanced. It's just like a medium roast. It is seasonal, so a lot of times I'll stock up a little bit and buy several bags of it, you know, and then we run out kind of throughout the year and we have to switch to something else. The thing I really, really like about Grounds and Hounds is that a part of their proceeds goes to support dog rescues, and you know that I love dogs. I'm a dog person. I'm a pet person, let's be honest. So that part of it is really attractive to me, and it's just really, really good coffee. A few types of their coffee beans have shown up in a couple of grocery stores around me, which is like awesome, you know, amazing. But the Perfect with Pie is our absolute favorite. And hey, let's be fair. I said I'm a dog person. I'm really a pet person. I love cats as well. And there's another company called Kittytown Coffee that makes really good coffee beans as well. And my favorite one, I think it's called Fezzik's Blend. We tried Kittytown Coffee for the first time a few months ago. They kind of do the same thing. A portion of their proceeds go to support cat rescues. So great coffee from either of those companies, and you're also going to support a good cause. We're still kind of on the coffee and hot beverage subject, so I wanted to talk about my fellow Gooseneck kettle. This is another product that I've had for a few years now. This was a gift from my husband. You know, you'll see it in the background of my videos. Sometimes I've probably used it to like reconstitute some bouillon or something like that. I use it for tea. This is another thing I use nearly every day. And it's really beautiful. It's very functional. And I really love the features, which I'll get into in a second, but it also looks amazing. And I know that these come in a lot of different colors now. I've seen pink, I've seen green, so you can kind of go and match pretty much any of your favorite colors or your kitchen decor. So things I really like about this, other than it being pretty, you know, because I can have it out on the counter and it looks great, you can adjust the temperature on this to whatever you want. Again, I'm not like a tea expert either, but I know different types of tea, you want like different temperatures of water. I also like, I don't know if this is weird. I love this handle because it feels very sturdy, but it's also very easy to hold, and it's got like this spot here for your thumb. Sometimes it's just things like that, like the design of a handle, that can make a big difference for people. And I think that is the case here. I promise I'll get off the hot beverage subject very soon. One of my very favorite teas is Tazo Glazed Lemon Loaf. I think Stephanie from Recipe Archaeology is the one who mentioned it. It says glazed lemon loaf, like it tastes like a dessert. I personally don't even add any sugar or anything to it. It has kind of almost a naturally sweet taste to it. And when you're brewing this tea, it smells like lemon and delicious like vanilla buttercream. It smells and tastes so good. I don't know how they do it. It is caffeine free, which is also nice because you can have this like later in the afternoon and you're not gonna be awake all night. This next item is one that I actually wasn't originally planning to talk about, but I have gotten so many questions about this that I felt I needed to include it. That is my Breville Handy Mix hand mixer. Yes, the hand mixer with a light on it. That is what I get the most questions about. Oh my gosh, does your hand mixer have a light on it? Yes, it does. Doesn't seem like it would make a huge difference, but it is one of my favorite features. One of the reasons I wasn't really gonna talk about this is it is a little bit pricier. I think this is probably the most expensive item that I'm including on this list. This is, at the moment, I think $149. I know you can go and buy a hand mixer for a lot less than that. I use this hand mixer all the time. Of course I do. I make videos about cooking. So far, I absolutely love it. So yes, the light, that is just one of the features that is super awesome about this. One of the other things I love is that it is like self-contained. I actually had another brand of hand mixer that was also like, it had this storage kind of thing on the bottom. The difference was that it was completely enclosed. So this actually, it's kind of got like a little bit of a cutout here, and that allows some space for the cord. The other hand mixer that I had that was kind of self-contained like this, it didn't have this cutout, and you ended up sort of like bending the cord in such a way that it wore the end of it out. That's why I had to replace it. Let me just show you what all it comes with. It comes with this like holder. You get these 2 beaters, and they do have a little bit of a coating on it. It's called the Handy Mix Scraper. I think it says it's supposed to scrape your bowl. I have a ton of spatulas. I'm fine scraping my bowl. So I can't attest to like that particular feature. I do like these beaters. You also get these like wire whisks. In the past, when I've had a hand mixer that has had these wire whisks, I've gotten 1, like it'll include 1, but this actually includes 2. And then I never use these. I have a stand mixer with a dough hook. These are dough hooks. I don't usually make dough with my hand mixer, but most frequently I use these. And I'll show you a couple of other features. Let's see if I can do this in like an effective way. So there's an on button at the top. I don't know if you can see it. There's an on button and there's also a pause button. That is a thing I want to kind of show you. Some of the other hand mixers I've used in the past, it turns on right away, whatever speed that it is. This one is nice because you can turn it on and off, and then there's this dial here, and that's how you determine the speed. And that's, I don't know if you can see the light, that's when the light comes on. So you can dial it up and down. There's also, this is so funny to do, there's also a pause button here. So you can pause it, scrape your bowl, and then start it again. There's like a little digital screen right here, and it shows you what speed that you're on. So I'm on speed 3. It shows you that the mixer is currently paused, but also there's a timer. There's a timer on here. So it'll show you how long that you have been mixing, which in some recipes it does say like mix for 2 minutes or until well combined or whatever. So that timer is, again, not essential, but super nice to have. When you hit the pause button, it also pauses the timer so you kind of know where you're at with that. This has 9 different speeds. It gives you on the top of the mixer, depending on what action you're trying to take, it has like combining, creaming, whipping. It shows you like what attachments to use and what speed, you know, you should probably have it on. This in the back, it kind of like moves with you too. I think that that can really prevent some wear and tear back here. If you know someone in your life, or if you personally cook and bake a lot and use a hand mixer quite a lot, it has some really just wonderful features to it, and I think it is totally worth the price. So this particular item is something that you've seen more in the last couple of months because it does help me stay a little bit more organized when I'm making my videos. These mini Nordic Ware sheet trays. I've had a couple of these for quite some time, but I didn't start using them in my videos until recently. So I've baked on these small sheet trays in the past, but what I really use them for in my videos is to like hold ingredients, because often I prep and pre-measure some things just to kind of streamline my filming process. It's kind of carried over into my regular day-to-day cooking as well, just trying to keep everything sort of contained, and it helps me carry things like over to other areas of the kitchen. I have 2 different sizes here. So this is like the smallest one, and this is one up from it. Sorry if there is a glare. This particular size, I know sometimes they have these at Costco, 3 for $20 or something like that. They're very, very useful, especially if you have a small household like me, not only to just like transfer ingredients, but to actually bake on. Like you can just bake a couple of cookies on this. I know for sure this one, maybe this one will fit into a toaster oven, depending on the size of your toaster oven. So if you want to just like bake something in there, you can definitely do that. I would love to try a little tiny like Texas sheet cake on one of these. I haven't done that yet. If you're making something and you're just making a small amount and you don't want to like drag out an entire big sheet tray. Again, this is something that originally I hadn't intended to include, but I've had so many questions about them that I thought I would put it here just for people's information. So my very, very final item in my list comes to us from OXO. Of course it does. Can't say enough good things about OXO products. I really do love them. That's the OXO Good Grips Cookie Press. I did an entire video about this cookie press when I first purchased it for myself. It was a gift to me last year. I'll go ahead and link that video in the description down below if you haven't watched it. This is a great time of year to watch it because I did make this kind of cookie for Christmas. Here's what the whole press looks like. You can take it apart. So this part on the bottom comes off. This part also comes out. To like ratchet this part back up, like the plunger back up, you just press that button and do that. So then you want to select your disc, and it comes with 12, I think. Yes, it comes with 12. Sorry, I can count, I swear. And it shows you on the side like which disc produces which cookie. I think it comes with enough, but they do have holiday expansion packs as well, so you can select your disc. It also comes with like, this is amazing too, this case for all the discs that has grooves in it so they stand up. It's not like loose in there. So, you know, you can choose, what did I just choose? I don't know, a leaf. So you put your disc in here, you screw this back on, And then, you know, you put your dough inside, and then, you know, you kind of ratchet the top to meet the top of your dough. And then when you're ready to make a cookie, you just put this flat on your sheet pan and you click this once and you lift it and there's a cookie there. This is my favorite cookie press. It's probably by far like the easiest one I have ever used. If you're gonna get this for someone or yourself as a gift, you're gonna wanna probably do it soon, because I mean, don't you wanna use this for your Christmas cookies this year? So I think that is everything. I just have like a laundry basket full of stuff over here. I've never done one of these gift guides before, so hopefully I did okay. I will include links to everything in the description down below. I really hope that this video helped you with some gift ideas, you know, to ask for yourself or for someone in your life. I hope you liked this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. I post videos about food, vintage cookbooks, and retro recipes every week. Thanks again, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.